Yeah, I think Staff is a much better weapon than Cross. Cross is much more predictable. The higher up in MMR you go, the less useful it becomes. That's the problem, because monsters know, like really good correct monsters know the distance they need for each weapon, right? Not only to not get affected, but also to engage. Like let's say Ward with the armor, like he will know where and when he needs to stop to get the perfect amount of distance to armor up and then close in on you. And the problem with the Cross is that if you don't get help with your teammates, you can't do anything about getting slapped, because it doesn't offer you the option of kiting and then moving away. With sword, ray gun, and flamethrower, with those three, you get that option, right? You can mess up, you can get too close to the monster, they can armor up, but it's a second chance weapon because you can waste a lot of charges to get back the distance, cut out the armor, and reset yourself. It's similar with, I'd say, with Werewolf's Howl. If you get too close, he will get a hit in, because once again, you can't really kite with, like once the Howl runs out and he gets close to you, with all of those three weapons, if you have a little bit of distance, you can fire 1-2 shots, whatever, depending on the weapon, or like a couple of charges with the flamethrower, and then move away. Cut out, move away, and maybe kill them. Maybe they duck away, but at least you don't get slapped. However, with the Cross, you don't have that luxury. It's not the case. So yeah, I don't like it. And with the Staff, one thing is really crucial to think about. It's insanely good over the railings, the best weapon over the railings, because it has like the most broken hitbox in the placement in the out of all weapons. And on top of that, the extremely high range and auto aim is not something the monster can really play around. So they can't close in on you. They can't really, like with the ray gun, they can just like go around you, whatever. Maybe they can outplay you. With Staff, that's not really the case. If you constantly keep your distance against all monsters and you know where to lead them, they will have to pre-armor, pre-howl, whatever, right? And then they will not manage to catch up to you. You can literally keep them at bay for hours if you know what you're doing with the Staff. And you know what's the thing also with the Staff? They will lose the patience. So I once played against a really good Ward. It was in the playtest. And I was in a 1v1 with one stigma left, right? The Staff against Ward seems like a really bad idea at that point. Because, you know, Ward will armor up, close the distance, chunk away at your Staff, and since you can't kite, he will most probably get a hit in. That's not the case if you really do know how to hold your distance. You know, if you can assume when he's gonna armor up, which is experience, if you know to lead him to the spots where he has to armor up, otherwise he's dead, like long hallways, let's say when you go to the basement stairs on high school, if you like that long hallway plus the staircase, he has to armor up behind one of the walls. And you can get enough distance to just keep on running. Like if you don't stop there, you keep on running, he will armor up because he's afraid if you come back, he's just gonna die if he goes through it unarmored. And he just wastes the armor, you're back at square one. On top of that, if you know how to count down the armor, which I did, like so I constantly went from main stairs through cafeteria, shop hallway, back to the staircase, the stairs that are next to the library, and use those in like a circle, constantly circling back around between the two. He would always have to use armor on one of them. I would keep on running, and then I just waited for a moment for him to get a little bit cocky with the armor. Wait for him to get into last 1 second of the armor. He goes to the middle of the staircase. He was about to leap, but you can stop the leap because, you know, you start pre-firing. Start firing exactly 1 second before the armor is gonna run out. And he will slow down, he won't be able to leap. And even if he does, he's gonna get slowed immensely. He can't do anything. He doesn't have room to go back because he's already on halfway through the, you know, through that long hallway-ish, if you can call it hallway because it's like staircase. And he dies. He dies because the armor runs out and you just keep on applying damage. All you need to do is like trust yourself and trust your timing, I guess. Do you think Staff is a good first craft weapon, or is it too much of a risk? Someone will probably get hit before he charges. I think it's not most of the time. So the situation is like this, right? With the Staff, any charge weapon is the first one in the game, but the Staff could be possibly the hardest because if multiple people get hit, that means you have to go around the map to heal multiple people, and most probably nobody has a weapon if multiple people actually got hit. So nobody can defend you, you can defend yourself, you can defend the teammate, and they're kind of loud, so they attract, you know, the monster fairly easy. So there's like a lot of things that you have to account for, but if you can craft a staff, I would always say you need 2 tier 1 weapons for you to be able to go for a staff comfortably. That's how I see it. Staff as a first weapon can be good on the other hand in one situation that I really think is that you can always keep in mind. Werewolf. Werewolf is pretty good at going through the map and going through stations at the very beginning. So having a fast craft and moving away from the station is like a 50-50 chance, right? It's really risky because if you get that weapon and everybody else gets smacked against Werewolf, who can again apply pressure really immensely fast and nobody else has a weapon to defend yourself, you have to charge that one, that can lead to him snowballing. However, if he goes to your station, somehow he hears you, you finish crafting, you get away, this could be really good. Because you can finish crafting 15 seconds faster than any other weapon in the game. Okay, Firebomb is 37, but I'm talking about the other weapons. So 42 seconds, 27 seconds, and you can move away, and if you need to heal one person, that's not a big deal. So I'd say charge weapons are really good against Werewolf, but they're still risky. However, it's much better to craft them against Werewolf than any other monster. Also, Staff, to go for a Staff against Dollmaster in the beginning can be really good. You know why? If he doesn't see you with the Staff, if you can be sneaky and go around healing your teammates, just getting that one holy weapon, because you know he's gonna be guarding those holy stations, like a really good Dollmaster will guard those holy stations, and getting that weapon and moving away from the station as fast as possible while he's chasing somebody else in the beginning is a good choice, most of the time. I think weapons that need charge are always a risk to craft. It's like high risk, high reward. Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. So it's up to you. I think Staff is the best endgame weapon. When you're like down to yourself, like 1v1 or maybe 1v2, so if you have like one team, I think this is where you really want to go for a Staff. If it's like, you know, if you still have Holy left as a stigma. I think that's why Holy should be left amongst the last to be done. I think it's like the easiest to finish in the end game, when everybody has weapons and you can freely craft staffs and stuff like that, because staff plus one cross can really like do wonders. It's always going to be a high risk, high reward. Like I gave you a couple examples where I think going for a staff is good. Like I sometimes force craft a staff against Werewolf, against Dollmaster, like as a first weapon. As long as I know he's not going to be coming to me anytime soon. Like let's say he spawned on that holy station and I was there, I was hiding, he moved away. And now I know he's going for somebody else, or he's going to check other stations, and it's going to take him a while to get back. Like 27 seconds, you can move away from that station before he circles around the map and like checks everything. With a cross, 42-second craft, with a slingshot, could potentially find you faster, you know, like you could still be crafting by the time he comes back.